guys are the Baron lane and the mid lane. But of course, let's see if what I said is true. Also, guys, I have been reading the comments on Twitch and even on YouTube. Yes, I have a new mic. I saw the hashtag mic
congratulations.
Guys, I see you.
Congratulations, by the way. And talking about Baron laners, oh my, we see that Kali getting a prio ban by Team GALAXYRAZER. Again, a Ryzen, well respected in his Akali, but at the same time, we saw a lot of good Katarina plays. If not for these teams, from the other teams that we've seen, just like in particular that Suri. And undoubtedly, I know for sure, Yuko, you know this in ranked games, a Katarina snowballs, man, that's just so hard to stop, especially if you don't have enough CC that is available in your composition.
Yeah, that is actually true. Also, I would like to highlight the fact that we were right. Baron laner is still gonna be prioritized here. Camille has been locked in. NEXPLAY Esports does have the option to pick up Fiora, but looks like they're gonna get Gragas for Horizon, and maybe they can get a support or an ADC. Kaisa, if they want, Draven too is okay. Maybe even S, but they can also get the Orianna if that's something they want. Oh yeah, of course. How can I forget? We highlighted this earlier. Listen for Just Chi, because as you said, Just Chi as well as Xpear, they're very good jungle players. Nostra from Kaisaya right here.
That's something that they, I don't know, either potentially forgot to delve about during the banning phase, or they just let it sleep and they have something in mind to just work on countering this one, and which they do still have. We still got a Vi that can match up in terms of the capacity to actually chase out targets, and we got that Kaisa Braum combo as well to even stop and stun that Lee Sin as well. Gonna be a little bit hard, to proc that concussive blows, especially if we talk about a Lee Sin that has all his abilities available to escape potential lockdowns. But we'll see about that. They got a Camille anyway. And going back, by the way, Yuko, on the prios on the Baron laners, I feel like, of course, the reason why we have currently in the meta have the prios on the picks for the Baron laners is because this is how will dictate how their Baron laners can affect their playstyle in the battlefield. So if you are the first pick Baron laner, for sure you potentially can get countered, and that's the reason why we can see a Gragas on the hands of a Ryzen. So able to counter the Baron laner of your opponent, for sure that you can potentially stop that Camille to actually join team fights later on into the game. But we'll see about that. We're almost close to completion. Actually, we did completed the picks already.
Yuko.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this support Gragas indeed. Thoughts about this one? You're a support player, so I'd like to know your thoughts about the Gragas support. Well, this is not that unusual, but I just would like. I think this is the first time here in North Luzon. I can see it.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Actually, okay, so let me talk about the support Gragas real quick. We have been seeing him in the jungle, in the Baron lane, sometimes even in the mid lane. And there was one team in South Luzon that used this mid lane Gragas, but Gragas as a support, I could relate him to one word: disengage. And in a way, that's good because Draven is basically all about just staying at the back lines, be able to dish out as much damage as he can, throwing around and just messing with his opponents. And Gragas is very tanky. I mean, he looks like that, but yes, he's also very tanky. Yeah, so he can just receive damage, be that meat shield or that frontliner for NEXPLAY. And we have been seeing NEXPLAY's plays time and time again. They're very aggressive and they really want to protect the back line. And when we're looking at GALAXYRAZER, they have a relatively in the meta draft, but they threw in some signature GALAXYRAZER picks, which is Aurelion Sol. We have been seeing this ever since last week, and we saw Pantheon in series number 1. So yeah, both teams just playing with their comforts, and I'm just very excited to see how game 1 will pan out.
I like how they are defining their kind of play style just by the picks that they have secured for themselves. But at the same time, I cannot skip this. Not mentioning about the Gragas flex pick a while ago. A while ago, we were talking about, okay, this is going to be a counter up against Camille. But then again, they just flexed it and placed him down as a support. So in the top side or in the Baron side part of the map, we'll definitely see that matchup between the Fiora as well as the Camille. And talking about 1v1 or 1v1 duels, of course, the Fiora potentially might get a upper hand, especially when he is able to make use of the passive that he's got. But for the meantime, in terms of Clash, I can see a higher potential to actually dive in and just to go all out into fights with the GALAXYRAZER composition. Primarily because, again, they got the tanky Braum frontliner that can also provide some shieldings, and of course the stuns will also be there coming from the Aurelion Soul and from the concussive blows of that Braum, and of course a prio lock-in target if that Camille, if in case, will be able to join out 5v5 team fight. So that can be a prio onto the Ziggs or onto the Draven, but that's gonna be a problem if the Camille will join out the team fights. If you leave out the Fiora in his lane, then this is gonna be a Fiora just taking down your turrets.
Yeah, and actually that's also something that could bound to happen because Ryzen, yes, there are times that he plays full on 5v5 with his teammates, but he is just more on the kind of player that takes a lot of kills, and I highlight a lot on the early game, and then during the late game he just focuses on split push. He almost always wins his lanes while he just allows his teammates to do whatever they want in different parts of the map. So if ever Camille is gonna commit into Fiora's lane, that is going to be one huge lockdown skill that won't be available for GALAXYRAZER. But GALAXYRAZER, they can also force a 4v5 and hope that and pull off that fight.
Yeah, basically it's just gonna depend on the execution, and of course at the same time how the jungler will rotate, the middle laner will rotate, and even so the support will rotate in the map, will affect if they will be able to punish a particular lane in the map. So it is very important that they win their laning phase as well, and either play aggressively or defensively. Both of them actually has the capacity to do so. They got a Braum in here for the side of GALAXYRAZER if in case they want to go for that early invade, same as on the side of NEXPLAY. They got a Lee Sin that can just annoy the hell out of the members in the laners on the side of GALAXYRAZER. But it'll depend. It's gonna be tough, and I don't know. Again, this MOBA games, it's just all about decision making, and whatever we predict in here could happen, and it could also not happen as well, because this is just gonna depend on how they see their composition, if they're really that comfortable with it in executing a particular kind of play.
Definitely. It's all about that 50-50s. And also to the viewers, do not forget to comment who do you think will win. We have draft right here. You also saw the bans earlier. And yeah, again, this is the last series, last day, last week for the North Luzon. Who will win? We already saw TEAMSECRET emerge victorious in the previous season with a very, very strong 2-0 against ACTIONPH. And if I'm not mistaken, they already have 400,000 Globe Cup points. And yeah, being able to get 400,000 in 6 days, I am at awe. But as amazing as it sounds, in those wins, in those 6 days, they committed a lot of sweat and tears. They had a lot of scrims. So it's just nice to see that the efforts of our players are now paying off. And yeah, for the supporters of our two teams, show them the love. And of course, do not forget to invite your friends to watch this live stream. Again, we're your casters. I'm Yuko, and alongside me is Kaysaya. I said 2-0 NEXPLAY. You said 2-1 NEXPLAY, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I forgot my prediction earlier.
Oh, okay. Just in case someone asked us again, right? So,
someone asked us, yes.
The reason why, of course, again, GALAXYRAZER, their learning curve is just way too high between the span of 2 weeks. So that's something that is already commendable, and them, of course, pulling off some points, not just points, some cash can even consider coming from what they've done so far in the 6 days of this event is just again something commendable. And again, they are kind of fresh in comparison to NEXPLAY Esports and even in comparison to TEAMSECRET. So we'll just see how this will go. So basing on the draft, I mean, our prediction a while ago was, you know, the generic one. But basing on the draft, Yuko, do you still say that this is gonna go on to the NEXPLAY draft?
Okay, so if we're gonna look at the familiarity of the draft, I would honestly have to go with Galaxy Esports or GALAXYRAZER. I mean, and yeah, solely because you guys read the 2.2a patch, and Pantheon is very, very powerful in the early game. He can pressure the lane with Grand Skyfall time and time again. He may not be as strong or as impactful in the late game, but I can see the reason as to why Xperia picked up this Pantheon.
You mentioned you're going for the draft of GALAXYRAZER, and that's totally understandable. I'm actually going for their draft as well because, not gonna lie, this is easier to execute compared to what is in the composition of NEXPLAY Esports. But we're not saying that this is something NEXPLAY Esports cannot execute, of course. This is, they have been together again for many, many months already. For sure, they know how to layer, how they're gonna be layering all those skills. But for sure, if we're talking about a first-time team that just got built and you give them the comp of NEXPLAY Esports, it's gonna be something that is tough to layer out in terms of, you know, in terms of the skills that must be put into play. So I'm just gonna go for the basic ones just to be sure, you know, just to play it a little bit safe. I guess for you as well, that's kind of the reason too. So GALAXYRAZER for the draft, but again, the NEXPLAY Esports could always prove us wrong and can show us onto how to execute their composition.
Exactly. This is just us reverting back to what looks or what feels normal. And if you're gonna look at the draft for NEXPLAY, it's kinda, if we're gonna talk about the early game, it's all about that solo kills. I don't have that much wombo combos early on. In the late game, maybe there are some usually gonna be initiated by, of course, Just Chi and Chule. But yeah, guys, we are jumping into game number 1. I know you are excited. So let's wait and see what will happen with first Baron laners. They're just with their usual 1v1s, and Ikaros and Horizon just going ham against each other. However, we're seeing a slightly more conservative dragon lane. Disaster and Uze is just right there clearing out the waves, and here we could see Draw just using stickers, selecting the stickers, showing them that he loves his opponents, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And at the same time, this is NEXPLAY Esports denying the, you know, the CS, the minion scores up against the members of GALAXYRAZER. But hold a thought, in the middle lane, what was that, Hugo?
Oh, that was basically the power of the early lane Ziggs, and Chule able to pressure Soul out. It is good because that means he can get to level 4 earlier. He can cut the minion waves. But okay, looking at the dragon lane, their NEXPLAY just being very cute with Draw that was just standing there. See cute like emojis and penguins. They're having a photo shoot right now at the dragon lane. That's adorable.
The stickers, you gotta be prepared with really lovely stickers to pull off. But going back into the middle lane,
here at the mid lane, red team was able to get that first blood. Can I say that it's a funny transition? In the dragon lane, they were having pictures and having stickers, and then in the mid lane, just Chule being mad.
Looks like we're gonna be really lobbying. We can see that there is actually a problem with the connection potentially of our Kaisa from the side of GALAXYRAZER. That's not gonna be fun. I mean, that's not gonna be fair. So we got a call that we're gonna be lobbying. We're gonna be remaking it, the game, so that at least we'll start afresh and fair for the players.
Yeah, and of course, you'd want to watch a series and play a series and cast a series. That's fair, right? So we're just gonna go with the remake and wait for the players to look to the lobby again. And of course, same pick, same bands, if I'm not mistaken, because the
Yeah,
Kaisa
yeah.
is already a fixed pick. And
Yeah.
again, third series, we have yet to see game number 1. So just sit back, relax, maybe get some food or get your dinner or your lunch, brunch, and let's just wait for the players to go back.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned brunch, although it's evening in the Philippines
Right.
already. But for sure, since we are in the English broadcast, there could be some people watching from the other end of the world. So hello to you guys. But yeah, now I think while we're waiting for the lobby, we can talk about the matchup in the jungles and in the lane. So for the dragon lane, for the dual lane, we have the Kaisa Braum versus a Draven Gragas. What could be the potential setup that these two might have, or that these four players can have in the bot side?
I can honestly see Gragas just throwing around his casket just so he, the shield of Braum, right? He can only stop the damage for 100% during the first skill. So second skill onwards, there's a bit of collateral damage, or he will get damaged as well. So that's something that Gragas and Draven can actually bank on. Also, Braum needs to be close to his ADC. And Draven and Gragas, they can actually dish damage from afar. However, for Kaisa, yes, she can penetrate the back lines, but early on, her Icathan Wraith, Void Seeker, she will have to be a melee champion, or she just has to be in your face. And she has to, of course, use her auto attacks.
Yeah, for sure. Although I'm seeing the matchup might be favoring more on the Draven and the Gragas, because we're talking about two champions that can poke out targets from afar. So if it is the Braum getting poked out a lot of times with the barrel rolls from the Gragas, as well as the piercing arrow coming from the Draven, so it's gonna be, a frontliner that is not really that much of a frontliner anymore, because you'll be seeing him in Half-Life already, potentially, of course, that is not able to protect or give protection onto that Kaisa anymore. So again, for the bot side, for me, I think there's going to be an upper advantage for the Draven as well as the Gragas because of the pokes. But now, we go on to the middle lane matchup that is an Aurelion Soul versus a Ziggs. Any thoughts about this too, Yuko?
Alright, so in a regular day, when I look at Asol, he is basically a mid to long range kind of champion. Ziggs is mid to long range as well. However, when it comes, I'm gonna bank on the early game, because early game is very important for all our teams right here. Ziggs, we've seen Chule do this, but Ziggs can just throw out an obnoxious amount of damage from afar, the bombs, and he just keeps on throwing them. Already Sol, he needs a handful of minutes to scale. His mid-game spike it's kind of there, but at the same time, not really, if you're gonna compare it to the amount of a burst damage that Ziggs can dish out here.
Yeah, for sure. For both of these champions, we gotta wait a little bit until they get their power spike, of course. So, but in team fights, I'm pretty sure they can, both affect what might the outcome be, especially if we're about a Ziggs just poking from afar. You're not going to be expecting that ultimate coming from the middle lane towards the bot side part of the map. So you got to be very careful and make sure that the Ziggs is not in somewhere in that, bot to mid turret vicinity. So that's gonna be something that is looking scary, but you also gotta be very careful about the stuns that the Aurelion Souls can pull off. And again, the AoE, the massive AoE damage as well, that can even cover up not the whole map, but the whole screen. Right?
Almost the screen. We've seen it time and time again, right? So you asked me about the dragon lane and the mid lane. Let's talk about the jungle. Now, you are a jungler main. And both of course have very high early game presence. Both can just give vision all over the map. But my gut feel tells me that this is gonna be a battle of who will be the better jungler in game number 1. That's in game number 1.
It could be. It could be. Actually, yes, we're talking about the junglers, but I just would like to insert again that GALAXYRAZERs or Reliant Soul will also have the capacity to, join team fights pretty much easily, just as much as the Pantheon can do. So it's all about providing that necessary backup that is much needed into team fights. So the Pantheon can do that, but the question in here is how much can the Listen chase out potential team fights that might happen? Well, anyway, the junglers usually, that's when the ganks happens, that's when the objective fights happens. So we might be seeing, as however, though the Listen might be positioning earlier onto objectives, Willist for the Pantheon, he's just gonna be letting the opponent's side to start off the objective and just go for backup, maybe try to go for some steals even from afar, and just basically play it all around in that kind of corner. But you mentioned it already, early game time, they both have the capacity into, clearing off the junglers quite fast, of course, in comparison to other junglers that is currently available in the pool. Like, if we're talking about a Shyvana or a Camille in the jungle. So looking kind of fair. It's just more on who's going to be starting objectives first and who will be able to back up in team fights, in objectives. So yeah, that's gonna be the difference between these two.
Yeah, and actually, if we're gonna compare the kit of these two junglers, Lee Sin is 100% all about single targets. Pantheon, he has a bit of an advantage when it comes to being able to go wherever he wants in the map, and tad bit of AoE, so maybe that's something that GXR can utilize. So we talked about the jungler. Let's talk about the Baron lane. I mean, this is a matchup we're not surprised to see. Okay, Camille and of course Fiora. But taking the players into account, what are your thoughts about this?
Okay, just the Camille alone, the Fiora alone, definitely I'm gonna give it to the Fiora. Especially if we're talking about a Camille that has spent his ultimate already or doesn't have an ultimate available as of yet. So true damage definitely gonna hurt you as well. So I'm gonna give the upper advantage in terms of clearing the minion waves onto Fiora and even, winning that 1v1 fight. Especially if we talk about as a team, NEXPLAY Esports getting the upper advantage in gold. So, not like you said, Yuko, nothing new between these two. It is the matchup again between the Fiora as well as the Camille. Sometimes you see them getting prioritized in the bans too, but now, well, still gotta love to see. They have some, their hairstyles kind of looking like the same as well. I don't know, but we're seeing
Kaysaya noticed. That's true though. They have this very spiky and fashionable hairstyle, even Kaisa. But I have to give it to Draven. Sorry, we're talking about hairstyles right now. But yeah, again, we are just waiting for the players to load. It is gonna be the draft. I know you guys are excited. We are excited too. This is Icon Series for PH Summer Split, and this is the last series for North Luzon. Next week, we will be seeing a different set of teams because it is gonna be South Luzon. We're still gonna happen for 3 days per week, and do not forget to follow your favorite teams. And I heard that every single page or FB page, even Twitter, of our teams right here, they have their own, how should I say this? They have their own gimmick when it comes to posting photos.
Even memes. I love the memes. I love the memes that is coming every after end of the day. So that's so exciting. You mentioned about following the teams as well. I also want to highlight not just the teams, but also the panelists and the talents that we have. Casters, both the casters as well as the panelists. Because I know for sure, including you, Yuko, you post some analysis, post-match analysis together. As for me, the stats, the stats that we have from Icon Series. For the other casters, of course, they got predictions as well. The panelists too, by the way. So you gotta take a look at what's in there, what's out there for the Philippine scene as of the moment. So we talk about the matchup in the lanes and in the jungle. I think this time we can talk about the play style in the early stages of the game that they might pull off. We were able to see a little bit of hint from that game that we saw a while ago, but that could be something different because they know for sure that the Kaisa isn't available there. Maybe that's the reason why they're able to go for an invade or whatnot. But do you have any like guesses as to how they might play this off? Is this going to be just like a passive one, just like how we saw it a while ago?
I honestly want to see something new, but NEXPLAY consistently, they have been very aggressive in the early game. GALAXYRAZER, it's kind of a mix of both, but looking at the draft that they have right now, they're basically forced, or they have to be aggressive because you have to stop Fiora, Lee Sin, Draven, and even Ziggs. That's basically 4 out of 5 champions from snowballing, because the lineup the NEXTplay has right here is very snowball dependent. And the idea, I said this earlier, the idea that they're all about the pickups, 1v1s, 1v2s, never the full-on 5v5s, that's basically equals snowball.
Yeah, for sure. At the same time, I'm seeing in here for the composition of NEXTplay Esports, going for the 1-1-3 kind of laning, not really laning, but you know, setup. Yeah, because again, the Fiora can go for turret pushes. Even the Ziggs can focus on turret pushes. And maybe this is just gonna be listen, just like how we had a preview a while ago. The listen going for an early gank down bottom part of the map. I think they didn't have an info that the Kaisa wasn't really available, but they plan about it. So that's something that we might be able to see again later on, unless they, you know, want to play safe and okay, they know we're gonna go onto the bot side and go for a gank. But yeah, potentially that might happen. Basically, the Ziggs just going for objectives, and like for example, if he's just going for some push in the mid, he can just go for the Mega Inferno Bomb down bottom part of the map to just poke out the members that is being ganked in there by the Draven, Gragas, as well as the Lee Sin. So that might be the kind of laning that they'll do. Meantime, for the side of GALAXYRAZER, it could be a 4-1 rotation that is going out there with a slightest chances of course, Aurelion Sol utilizing his capacity to go for the Comet of Legend, maybe from the base towards the team fight. So, but we'll see about that. But I'm seeing a higher chance of going for potential pushes in here for the side of NEXTplay.
Well, I actually want to echo what you said with GALAXYRAZER. Aurelion Sol being able to stun anyone, even if he's 75,000 kilometers away, that means a lot. Because, and I also see them be just going with the full-on 5v5 solely because once 2 or 3 members from NEXTplay get stunned, Kaisa can jump in with either the Killer Instinct or the Icathian, guys, help me out here. Yeah, her first skill. And Braum, of course, has the follow-up stuns as well. You have Pantheon for the him just gonna chase out anyone or maybe even try to log people in. And Camille, assuming that Camille won't commit onto split pushing, you also have the next ultimatum as well as the hook shot to be able to chase anyone out.
Yeah, for sure. Again, backup is very much present as well for the side of GALAXYRAZER. Again, got a Pantheon as well as the Aurelion Sol that can just, you know, back up just in case team fights already happen. And again, you want to utilize that ultimate of the Pantheon as well. You don't really want to make use of that while you are already in the team fight, because that can get cancelled. You can get the Dragon Rage from the foot of that Lee Sin. So that's gonna be looking scary for you to do that if in case. But I know for sure that these players know the capacity of all the champions that they have picked. And again, and the GALAXYRAZER is actually going for a chase in terms of the level of play that they can actually pull off here in Icon series. But you know what, Kirko? Again, this is the last day, the last series. Basically, we're just talking about catching up in terms of the Globe Cup points that they can get.
Okay, so if we're gonna look at GALAXYRAZER, they already have 150,000 Globe Cup points. If they win this, it'll be 200,000. And NEXTplay currently has 300,000, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these teams, they're very rich. I mean, if they can just get 5 or 10,000 worth of wild cores, and that's already a lot. And yeah, sadly we were rooting, even us in the Cavs and the GC. We really wanted ACTIONPH to at least be able to win one series, but apparently today just wasn't their day. Maybe in the fall we'll be able to see more of them. GG's of course to ACTIONPH out there. I was able to talk to their manager, their coach. They're very good people, and I'm actually happy that the WildRift scene in the Philippines is flourishing. I know we were the first country to have the game of Alpha Test way back June last year along with
Yeah.
Brazil. Now that it's also available in more countries, it just goes to show that there's more in store for us in
Yeah.
WildRift.
Yeah, for sure. But now we're done talking about these two teams, and we're actually even super that close into ending the North Luzon group stage. Maybe we can give some bits of hints about the upcoming teams that we might see in the South Luzon group stages. So we've got Sun Sparks, we've got Liab Esports, we've got Execration, and we've also got Omega Esports. Any thoughts about this? But no, I think we have to move forward and just leave and set that aside. And I know that's like a hanger for the viewers.
Yep.
Because we have to proceed in here in the game. So yeah, Nico.
If you want to see more of our teams, be sure to tune in next week. What's good? Oh my God, this is gonna be game number 1 finally for our third series. JC already received tons of damage from Chule right here, and you are right, Miss Kaysaya. Looks like NEXPLAY Esports could die that early on engaged, but GALAXYRAZER, the support as well as the ADC, they just want to keep on supporting their jungler. And yeah, JC almost down, but here the brand lane, Icaros passive, Camille's passive already being procced, so that's something Aryzen can try to harass, or you can just force Icaros to go back into his lane. JC cannot go back because early on, the snowball and Asol being able to farm is very crucial. Chule is already level 2, but you have X here just waiting at the side. They're gonna go with the jump, and yes, he doesn't be a stun, and Chule flashes out. Let's see what is gonna happen next. Chule able to escape, but GALAXYRAZER, nope, the stun did not connect, but you know what connected? The first blood to GALAXYRAZER.
Gotta love the start in here from the side of GALAXYRAZER. Really nice. X-Peer just give assistance onto the Aurelion Soul that's already getting bullied by the Ziggs early game time, because again, we talk about a matchup, there might be better pokes coming in from the Ziggs compared to what the Aurelion Soul has. So, you know, it's natural to see like that. It's kind of pretty similar to if you're going to talk about an Orianna Aurelion Soul matchup in terms of fast clearing the minion wave. So that was a really nice decision making coming from X-Peer.
Yeah, Disaster able to spot out XP right here. Disaster was able to flash out, but that is going to be a 3v2. So NEXPLAY Esports are the Dragon Lane duo. They are just forced to go back. If that was a full-on 2v2, I believe they could have that solely because Disaster was able to knock up the champion from GALAXYRAZER right here. And as you can see, Lee Sin in the map going with the invade, and she just being a very hardworking jungler. Yeah, that was him being him, but the blue team was able to get that kill. First kill was gonna go over. Well, actually, that was his second kill, and Disaster was the one that got taken out. Here is the skill set as well as the item so far for Aryzen. Nope, that did not connect. He was now grounded, but of course, he is still gonna try to go with that 1v1. Joshi says hello. Aryzen flashes a kick connecting onto Icarus. Icarus popping that hook shot, and no casualties at the Baron lane.
But gotta talk about again what has happened down bottom part of the map. The intention of GALAXYRAZER in here is to not allow Uzi to snowball. By the way, gotta love that skin that is currently available onto him. Kind of distracting, and that is okay. But yeah, gotta love how, again, X-Peer is actually responding onto the lanes, onto our laners, primarily because, again, the ganks are super important to shut down the targets that are gonna be looking scary if you give them a snowball. And talking about that, that is gonna be Uzi's Draven if you give him the League of Draven passive.
Yes, definitely. That champion with a bob of a head. Also to Twitch viewers right now, if you're seeing, it's Lion Nation, the coach of GALAXYRAZER. He is in chat, so if you want to interact or throw him a few questions, be free to do so. But we are almost at the 4-minute mark. first objective is gonna be up in 20 seconds. Power just clearing out the minion wave. Baron pair just going ham and just hitting each other literally. Chule a tad bit forced to go back into his lane, but wait, that's gonna be Islam connecting onto disaster, but he was able to flash out. Red team instead was able to get Pantheon instead. Imagine doing the initiate, but you were the one that got taken out. So GALAXYRAZER, they can still try to steal this, but it's gonna be a 4v5. Are they gonna try? No? Okay, looks like next play will get this non-contested.
Yeah, that's gonna be super risky if they try to contest that area, but meantime, top side, we have a fight.
Ryzen able to run away with just the skin of his teeth. Feels like Ziggs is being chased out here. Nope, apparently that is gonna connect. And Ryzen says hi. Are you gonna help your teammate? That is gonna be Draw still at the front line. XP, man. The rotations coming in from this guy is very, very good, but still no casualties just yet. Yes, that will connect. Damage is not yet enough. Explosive minefield being popped as well. Another bomb being thrown out by Chule. Just she rotating over to the Baron lane as well, but GALAXYRAZER decided, you know what? Let's not overstay our welcome. Our Dragon lane turret is being taken out. Let's go with the reason. Maybe go over to the mid lane and try to get another turret.
Yeah, for sure. That first turret take definitely paid off. But not only that, I think XP made a mistake about going a little bit aggressive into the middle lane, trying to go for a kill onto Joshi, not minding as to where the rest of the members are. Then he got surprised that Disaster was actually also there and getting the backup to coming up from Chule. And that was kind of unfortunate because the dragon, the first dragon was about to come out and he wasn't available just because of that aggressive play, not minding where the other players are. So that's why he got penalized about dying and not getting the early position onto that first dragon that was available.
That I would have to agree, and I guess that's just Disaster causing disastrous moments for GALAXYRAZER in the map. Looking at the Baron lane though, looks like those are gonna be popping right there, and that's gonna be Hex Ultimatum connecting, and what will happen if he wants to go in? You actually that with Uze just in the back line, nice sidestep rather from the Kaisa, able to take out, of course, that Sin, and Aureliusol was able to take out that Fiora in this part, but looks like going from here at the mid lane, Chule still at it against Drop. Here comes the ADC, he flashes in, but even though Chule thought he can get away with it, nope, Kaisa was just able to finish off that kill, and in retrospect, NEXPLAY was able to finish off that turret takedown. Experience, right? He's right here. He flashed in. Yes, the stun did connect, but at what cost? Oh, NEXPLAY going into the cage. Look at that other members. Oh, GALAXYRAZER is there right now. Pantheon, just say goodbye. Of course, that Disaster able to get one kill. Stuns coming in. Stuns coming up. The CC is so much. I gave him connecting. Gragas, just say goodbye. Justry is forced to go back. He has no one left but Chule. Are you gonna go with the re-engage? Skills are on cooldown, so that's something he can utilize. No? Okay. Looks like they decided to play it calmly. 7 minutes in. Okay, nope, not calmly. What was I thinking? Ikaros jumped in. Hextech Ultimatum. Hook shot as well. And yeah, that is gonna be a kill. Ziggs says goodbye. Just at the bushes. A tad bit too late to save his teammate.
Well, I think Chole was a little bit overstaying in that part of the map, but again, we have another fight that's happening, Yuko.
Oh, goodness me, that blue team was able to get repelled, and now they are GALAXYRAZER. What are they gonna do? Brown tries to, of course, give them a slow, but that is gonna be the engage coming in from Gragas. They did get annihilated by this Kaisa. And look at their ADC, just the back line. The life bars are very, very slow. Of course, Draven was able to take out that Kaisa. Gragas very low as well. Uze, what did you do, man? GXR said we might say our welcome. Let's go out. Explosive minefield still gonna be used, but looks like that is gonna be an even trade. For these two teams, they're gonna go with the stun. Really, I mean, you can try. Uze very confident, and that is gonna be a dead Brom. Goodness me, and a dead turret at the mid lane. Just 8 minutes in. The next dragon is a Mountain Drake, and yes, it is now up. It's just basically NEXPLAY Esports being very, very calm and patient. Ryzen just doing Ryzen things. He is alone in his lane. Looks like he is gonna commit to this split push Fiora.
Yeah, and just as we thought, NEXPLAY Esports is gonna go for that very objective turret take. Again, the Fiora as well as the Ziggs gonna be doing their job, but for the meantime, a potential fight might happen again here in the Baron pit. Not too sure if there's gonna be a contest, but seemingly they are positioning themselves into trying to go for a steal, but no, way too late. It's gonna go onto the side of NEXPLAY Esports. Sorry I wasn't able to pass that along to you, but again, they are just playing onto their composition in here. Go for push type, NEXPLAY Esports utilizing the 1-1-3 kind of laning and setup that they can actually pull off on this kind of comp. But again, GALAXYRAZER is not way too far, because if we're talking about an engage or a full-on engage, they still have the capacity. You mentioned a while ago, Yuko, that there's a lot of AoE damage, both coming from the Kai'Sa's Acathean Raid as well as JC or the Aurelion Soul's Celestial Expansion as well. So that's a lot to deal with, and more from Xpear just waiting from somewhere around the corner, gonna go for that ultimate to go for more surprise attacks. So really loving both the kind of plays, but if you take a look at the number of turrets that NEXPLAY Esports currently has, it's still all standing. Because again, it is them that's really going for aggressive turret pushes.
My heart stopped for a bit there because I thought Just Chi was gonna try and take out that Braum. I mean, we've seen this jungler. There's a chance that he might be able to do that, but looks like that is not gonna happen today. And the NEXPLAY Esports already given the Baron a start. Of course, GALAXYRAZER will try to contest this. I just wonder how they're able to do this though. Already Sol is already laning against his Fiora. I mean, that's good. Asol can dish out damage from afar. Fiora needs to be up close to her opponent, so maybe, just maybe, they can stop the surge from Horizon right here. Uze, though, was able to clear out the minion wave. Still gonna protect the turret with and looks like Disaster. And this Gragas is gonna go over to his ADC. I want to go back to what he did. He threw the casket while they were chasing the dragon. It was so smart because GALAXYRAZER was not able to go anywhere near him, and that is wait, that was a beautiful bait. Goodness me, that should be enough to put it onto Disaster, but nope, he is still very tanky. Apparently, he can take 2 ultimates. Here comes Jessie, here comes the bomb from Chole. The damage is too much, and look at the gun that's going chase, and as he gets slow onto Jessie, he got right in the face. Will the sun connect? Apparently, of course, it is gonna connect, but you know what? It's gonna connect to the kills for the side of GALAXYRAZER. Occasionally from Kai'Sa hurts a lot. He flashes in. Uze apparently got taken out by Elrail and Chule is forced to go back. He got stunned. Goodness me, will the shield be enough? That is gonna be a no. Just you, the only one left alive from that flash. Will he go with the kill or not? Okay, gonna go with the disengage. Fiora. Alright, so going into the part of the map, he is just going with the 1v1s, but Joshi, you have 4 champions chasing after you, goodness me, but they still cannot catch him. This is the level of slipperiness that this Lee Sin has, and he was able to buy time for his team, need I tell you. The death timers were done. They're back to laning, and I understand though. I mean, if you see a jungler, his life is relatively low considering there's 4 of you chasing after him. I can side with GALAXYRAZER in that decision.
Yeah, definitely the Yumus actually helped out a lot in, trying to be that slippery, getting chased down by 4 members. But going back onto the fight that happened in the top side part of the map, but before I even analyze and talk about that, so we have another fight that's happening in the room.
Man, these teams are just at it, and looks like the GALAXYRAZER is trying to separate the fights for NEXPLAY Esports, but nope, that is not gonna happen because the first kill was taken by NEXPLAY. They are jumping into the mid lane. You have Horizon at the front line, but they said, wait, time out, let's go with the drag. Let's go with this objective because it's gonna be a 4v5. Yes, there's a chance that they can win this, but might as well get as much objectives as they can as a Cloud Drake. So it gives handful of movement speed. Just Chi on this Lee Sin, he can utilize this. This is gonna be a huge help for him, so they'll be able to rotate more and go with ganks more.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, I think this is the time we can explain what has happened on the top. We saw that bait actually getting started by GALAXYRAZER attempting to take down Disaster and one. I think that was Uzi on the top side a while ago. But apparently NEXTPLAY ESPORTS committed onto agreeing onto having a 5v5 or 4v5 fight against GALAXYRAZER. And that was a mistake because again, GALAXYRAZER's composition is built on to being able to sustain and being able to dish out massive amounts of AoE damage against their opponents. But to talk about another team fight that's happening here in the mid, go ahead, Intro.
He flashes in, but Mope was not able to finish off that kill. Instead, he was the one being boxed in. Leeson able to take out the Kilas and get shot down on Feature and they are still at it. Gonna go with their engage. Of course, we have Draw just at the sidelines. Although the ADC is down. Look at the kills coming in for both the jungler and the ADCs. JC forced to just jump back. Asol, he did try his best with the passive, but apparently NEXTPLAY, they just have this composition that is straight in your face. We talked about this earlier, but wait, apparently they really want that blood. They smell blood. Gragas gets taken off. Kingsley coming over to our Leeson, and oh no, JP! He got taken out by that Draven, and that is gonna be the first ace of our game number 1. Camille is up. Icarus, let's see if he can defend this, and I think that's going to be the hole being placed on GALAXYRAZER's base.
Indeed, a hole in the middle lane, and they're not going to be going for that early Baron take because they still got to respect the death timers that is in there. I think the mistake on the side of GALAXYRAZER was not really a mistake, but it's just that NEXTPLAY ESPORTS cutting up the members of GALAXYRAZER's that are actually scattered in the map. So when they saw that, okay, there are 2 to 3 targets just in the middle lane, let's go 5v3 up against them because we win by numbers, and that's the only thing that we can do. If it's gonna be a 4v, oh nice, of course, that's expected onto Lizzie. Just go for the Sonic Wave and try to even go for his might, and yeah, and just go for his steal. But yeah, going back to the fight in the mid, it's just GALAXYRAZER getting caught up in the middle by NEXTPLAY ESPORTS getting outnumbered, and they lost on that one. So that was a nice, you know, very decisive moment by NEXTPLAY. But
okay, that's gonna be GA popped for Just G. I mean, that's what's again if we're gonna try to go with the invade, and they committed 2 ultimates to this guy, and I guess that's something NEXTPLAY ESPORTS can utilize. I mean, a huge lockdown and engage is already gone. Chule, goodness me, that's fish. And next, are they gonna go with engage? Apparently that is gonna be a yes. However, GALAXYRAZER is gonna go with engage. Draw flashes out. Will he make out of the alive? Stuns are gonna connect, but Hexblock is mind to just hurts a lot. Goodness me, I can feel the damage right here. Pantheon says goodbye. That is gonna be a double kill going over to Chule, and it is gonna be a 3-for-1 in favor of NEXTPLAY. The one death for the NEXTPLAY side is still Just G, and they're gonna take over to the Dragon Lane to get that turret, and man, Disaster is being very aggressive, and he's just trying to penetrate the backline and just keep the delivery or target to his teammates. Uzi hurts a lot. Did you see that? That is an already unsolved, but looks like NEXTPLAY is eyeing to end game 1, and they were able to do so. They are now up with 1 game.
Legends never die.